Alright, take two. Take two! Alright, let's, jeez. I flopped that last one, alright? Out of curiosity, I did pull up the guide real quick, and I was like, you know, there's tons of walkthroughs by now, and I pulled one up, you know, because I was like, well, I already made it that far. I'm still not sure exactly what I did wrong, because the walkthrough says to do exactly what I did last night. So, yeah. So, hello and welcome to another exciting Let's Play. It's your girl Kayleigh Alyssa here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Either this guide is wrong, or I don't know what happened. Not late. But apparently I made all the right decisions last night, and I should not have had a game over. It should have... that should have been the end of the game. And it should have been not guilty. And then you were like, ah, yay! But no. Super weird. That's not what happened. Okay. So let's try it again. Maybe it'll be different. Maybe this is gonna be like that whole, like, you know, maybe we'll prove Webster Merriam's dictionary wrong about the definition of insanity. You can, in fact, do something the exact same way and get a different result. Huh? Huh? Let's go! Now then! Will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Okay, alright. Miss Lana Skye, you were the chief prosecutor. I'm sure... No, you didn't. You should have said, don't show evidence. Then it asks you again, and you do show the cloth with Emma's prints. Oh, it's because I said I can show evidence, and then I showed the cloth and point my finger at Emma Skye. But what I'm supposed to say is I cannot show evidence proving who the murderer is, and they're like, really? Well, show it to us. And then I'm like, no, I just said I can't, but here's the cloth anyway. And there's Emma Skye! So, you know... It was like one thing. Yeah, you're right though. It's because I said I can show evidence that points out the murderer. But instead I'm supposed to say I cannot show evidence that points out the murderer, and then still show the same cloth and point my finger at Emma Skye. And that was the end. That was literally, that's the last thing you do. So we were on the last question last night. Like, we beat the game. And then it was just... So I picked... I'll show evidence. Sure, here's the evidence. I said one thing wrong. I made it through the entire first game. And I made one mistake, and it was an instant game over. Whatever happened to the health bar? I'm sorry, I'm getting upset already. We went through the same exact conversation last night. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. Yeah, I'm aware! We're gonna do it. I was high and not paying attention. Oh, well, that's fair. Yeah, but whatever happened to the health bar? I thought this game had a health bar for a reason, and all of a sudden, there's one thing, one singular question that leads to instant death. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure Phoenix Wright got the death penalty too. I think that's like a rule in this world. It's like if you lose a case as a defense attorney, you also get capital punishment. So at least Emma and I died together. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. No, that's not until Ace Attorney 6. Yeah, but I'm still pretty sure that that probably still happened in this world anyways. I wouldn't be surprised. Just let me go with it, okay? Just go along with it. Also, that's a crazy rule that actually exists in this game. That's insane. Not this specific game, but the 6th game in the series. That's insane. That the defense attorney also gets the same punishment as their defendant. That is absolutely wacko. And remember, you are under oath. You want to hear the truth? Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. I'll most likely be a dead sister, or you will be. Either way, one of us is getting the death sentence. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gaunt. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gaunt. Okay, Gaunt and the fabrication. Here we go. I worked alongside Gaunt for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. I think this is the first one I actually need to press. If I remember correctly. Then the Great Ace Attorney games, a prequel, has jury cases? That's kind of a what? My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Ima. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana... If this is true, then that means Chief God has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. And whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Huh? Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I worked alongside God for years. I don't really need to... There's no argument there. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. That's the one. That's the one right there. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense! She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. Yeah, well then why did I get an instant game over last night? Huh? She wasn't gonna get charged with anything anyways. It's justifiable self-defense. Jorkus. You dongle. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana, and that's why I shot him in the face. But he wasn't shot in the face. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? I missed 7 minutes. No, oh no, it was mostly me just ranting about last night. Ranting and raving. I was doing both. You know? It's pretty impressive, gotta say. You're defending Lana, not Ima, for the murder of Goodman. Oh yeah, well, sure. But then why did it end when I pointed out that Ima was the murderer of a different case? I'm just saying. It's weird that it cut out the way that it did. It's weird that it gave me a game over when it did. But there should have been a moment where he was like, now if you're sure about this evidence you're presenting, but I don't think you are, so then it deducts 2 points from my health, you know? That's what it should have done. That's what it should have done. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken Prosecutor Award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? Oh. But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. Because if it was her that killed Marshall, then God wasn't blackmailing Lana, and would still be blamed for the real murder of Goodman. Oh. You can still blackmail Lana. You know? After hiding the evidence that Emma did it. Whatever. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down! She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies! Oh, just to protect me. So, when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. That's highly unlikely. You planted the tip of Dark's knife, and then you moved the body. But why? Why would you do that? Don't have to read every line. Well, I'm going to, because otherwise this, if I just speed right through it and just click right through, then this is going to be like a 5-minute episode. So, you know, give everybody a refresher. I don't want this to be a 5-minute episode for the finale of this game. Yeah, I'm going to read each line. And for those of you watching at home, you're welcome for reading each line. But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. Right? It's a nice refresher. I'm just gonna click through as fast as I can. My head isn't that bad. Well, maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you move the body? Right? It was... Because also, I don't totally remember after the 7 beers that I had last night. I'm not drinking tonight, by the way, because I want to have a clear head when I do this. I don't fully remember all the decisions I made, and I'm trying not to look at the guide. I'm trying to do this again. I remember the decisive moment where I messed it up. Okay. So I'm pretty sure it's why did you move the body? Well, let me click it. I swear I poked that little text bar like 5 times. Finish it quick and do the first case in Ace Attorney Justice for All. No! I'm not gonna do that. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, we're doing Spooktober. And I'm doing the Justice for All. I don't even have that game. Wait, what? No. You mean the second game? No, just watch, okay? Just watch it, Sky. Just watch the show, and if you don't want to watch, you can go somewhere else. Okay? Alright. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gaunt's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Well, let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky
move the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Now, if I remember correctly, either you're supposed to press here. I think press first.
Pieces of the jar, do you mean?
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So, when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what had happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
I see!
So it's either right there or...
What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jar shattered at the same time the crime was committed, but that couldn't be. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. The only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Yeah, that's the one. I think I need to present when she mentions the jar, and then show the jar. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence. Broke off the tip. So there's a contradiction here. I'm pretty sure this is where you do it. I think. Oh! Which is crazy, because if I get this wrong, I'm gonna lose health. But even if I get it right, it'll take me all the way to the end of the game, and then it won't matter how much health I have. So, like, why? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it! Yeah! Woo! I was probably exactly this excited last night, too. Oh, it always feels good when the music stops, because then you know you did something right. And when you did something wrong, then Master Roshi, I mean, the judge, just kind of shakes his head at you and says, that's not right. And you're like, oh, fuck. That's not right, is it? No, it's not.
Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring everyone's attention to a significant contradiction within your testimony.
Contradiction in my testimony? The music always stops when you present any evidence. Oh, wow. Even if it's the wrong evidence? No, that's so misleading. That's very misleading. A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on the jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
Order! Order!
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in the dark as we are. Or as in the dark, you know what I mean. About the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw.
See, Edgeworth already knows. He's already got a hunch.
We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony.
The jar and message in blood. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go!
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all.
And that's the one I think... For sure I pressed that. I might have to present, but definitely pressed there.
All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
Okay.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Doc was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Okay, here we go. Here we go! I miss the Faye sisters. Why do I get them back?
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood.
The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Now I know for sure I gotta press here. I think I have to present too. But how could you see with the power out? Cross-examination is alleged.
Cross-examination?
Yeah, you know, he says it in like a very suggestive way. Right? It's one of the many little flares that really bring Roshi's character to life. Judge Roshi. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office!
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. And I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece.
Is the judge's name ever revealed? Not as far as I know. I've only ever heard him called Judge, Your Honor, or Uji. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one I have to present. I have to present there, yes. Yes, 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 yes. It has to be. It has to be. And I'm pretty sure it's the jar again, because then you can see where it's glued together. Okay. Immediately notice the jar. It's dark in the room. Be safe, I wiped away the blood. Present. Oi, oi, oi! Ha-ha! Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar. In Chief God's safe!
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene! Honestly, as far as I know, Officer Marshall didn't even write Ima on the jar. As far as I know, it could have been somebody completely different. It could have been Gaunt who wrote Ima on the jar and then shattered it. And then hid the one piece. I'm still not totally clear on what happened with this jar. Or how it fits into the time. I know, obviously, it shattered after it was written on. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Chief God got there before you.
So much I still don't know about this case.
But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. And I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that?
Well, it's like they say, right, Judge? No one gives a Hummer like a gummer.
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that!
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief God. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Can you please never say that Hummer joke again?
Yeah, you got it. No promises. There may come a day where I say it.
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years?
Yeah, because he could have just come right out and said it.
Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No! No!
He really did say that like he was the one on trial.
Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Damon Gaunt arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Well, let me just refer to my my evidence law book that I have. I believe that is the second rule of evidence law. It's forgery.
Fabrication of evidence.
Yeah, that. Which is weird that it's named that, because that's like the opposite of fabrication. Right? Just saying.
But why? Why would Chief God do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't that clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister, Emma, killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gaunt's aid. Lending her his aid, Gaunt helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the Chief's puppet.
Ah! Why did she bite so hard that it drew blood? Is that how she hurt her hand? Is she the attack titan?
No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake.
Or for my sake, if you're feeling spicy.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says.
He's doing a summon jutsu. Oh, yeah, because you gotta draw blood and then you, like, make the symbol, right? Wow, she's a summoner! A girl after my own heart. Ah, because I'm a summoner in most games where you have a choice to be a summoner or not. You know, I haven't played Oblivion in a while. Now that I think about it. I've just been so caught up, you know, in work. Working all these doubles, working extra, and now we've got the staff that we need to finally get back into playing video games for you guys and, you know, for my own pleasure in my free time. But then also there have been times where I'm just, in my spare time, I'm just grinding on Crisis Core because I'm like, oh, I want to get as much as I can out of this game. Even though it's making it painfully easy to play the story mode missions. Like, case in point, when I was fighting literally Sephiroth today, and I was like, I'm barely taking damage. I think like his strongest attack did like, what? I don't know, like 1/8 of my life or something like that. Either way. It's less than 1/6, that's for sure. I easily heal for like my entire health bar anytime I want to. Whatever. Oh no, there was one attack where it did like 5,000 damage. Yeah, there was. Yeah. So I'm doing alright. And he's supposed to be hard anyways. I remember that being super hard when I did it the first time. So I think I just like blew through the story mode and I didn't really care about the missions the first time I played Crisis Core. And then I did the New Game Plus, and then I started really concentrating on the missions and whatever.
Don't believe anything he says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client!
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
You're not helping. Oh, wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of God's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Wrong, right?
Lana, may be right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Sky, please testify once more! But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie!
That's what I'm thinking too. That this whole thing was fabricated. That she didn't even accidentally kill him.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
You remember knocking over somebody in the dark. Come on.
Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify.
Testify!
About what I really saw. Not like in a Baptist church, but like testify in court.
Oh. Sorry, I got a little excited when you said testify, and I was like, testify, sister! And I got a little out of hand. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right. The witness may testify once more. For the final time. Testify. Oh, that is fun.
Yeah, see what I mean? Alright. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Okay. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby.
Why were they both unconscious? Emma, I understand, passed out because of the shock of everything. She was so scared that she just passed out of fear. Something I'm probably going to do sometime this month when I start actually playing scary games. That's fine. But why did Dark pass out? Why was he unconscious? And I don't buy that fishy bit about him knocking his head according to gods. He bumped his head and then passed out? Come on. Come on. It's not that frail. I think someone hit him. Someone like gods.
When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it.
Thought she did what?
The murder. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gaunt help me remove the body from the sword and carry it.
Sorry, I was grabbing a soda. Not a beer, a soda. Promised myself I'd do this sober so I can concentrate. I'm doing this for you, chat! It's a sober Let's Play. It's not easy. I'm from a state where we take pride in being drunk almost all of the time. Okay? shouldn't say stuff like that, because then it's really gonna help narrow down where I live. I had Chief God help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. Forget I said that, okay? But if all really was a fabrication, Ima might be innocent. Sober is good sometimes, most of the time. Yeah. It helps me let loose and really get goofy and silly with my streams, I feel. You know? I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armor's sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright.
Oh, God. I just remembered the proof. So he definitely was impaled on the statue. I just don't think that's how it actually went down, though, in the moment of the murder. You said your state 69 times already and your full street address. No, I have not! Not the street address. I would know if I did that. It's a weird street address, okay? Anyways. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Check it out.
What's it all about?
Ah! Oh yeah, that's right. This is so graphic. Am I allowed to show this on YouTube?
Hey, there's a picture here! Look at this photo!
Oh, don't look at that photograph. Oh, it's really graphic. Don't look at the photograph. This is the actual crime scene. Is it Reinhold? Wow, that's crazy. Reinhold. Huh. You made it. We finishing this. Yeah, we are. Oh, we're so finishing this pink. No other detective saw this crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's crazy. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out of his vest. Could that be?
The cloth we found inside Chief God's safe. Look at this photograph!
Every time I do, it makes me sad. How did Marshall get so red? And how the hell did he end up dead? Oh, yeah. How the hell did he end up dead? Yeah! Oh, wow! I love it! Oh, it's great. That's funny. That's good. That's rich. Just for that pink. I'm gonna name something in the next game after you. Well, obviously Sky and Olivia are gonna get their names on stuff too. But just for you. I'm gonna follow Markiplier's lead and name some stuff after all of my loyal followers. And Mario Kart too, obviously. Yeah. And other people. I remember all of my followers' names. All 322 of them. Crazy if I didn't.
What's this?
Oh. This is a handprint, isn't it? Yeah, no, that's the flashback. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do the echo. I forgot the flashbacks, I gotta use the echo. That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Yeah, wonder whose they are. Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. Uh-oh. Well. Unless, now hear me out, this is gonna sound crazy, but what if God cuts that piece of the cloth off of Neil Marshall's vest and then pressed an unconscious Ema Sky's hand onto the cloth so that it left those fingerprints? Huh? Huh? Right? Also, why did he tamper with that evidence by cutting it off of the vest in the first place? I mean, come on. I'm just saying, it's super obvious that that's what happened. I think it's obvious. I think it's a lot more likely than if Ema actually pushed him hard enough to impale him. Come on. She was a frail 14-year-old girl. Now, I'm not saying that women aren't strong, but she was a 14-year-old girl, not particularly physically fit. She's not an athlete or something like that, you know? She's just a regular girl. 14 at that. And he was a full-grown man. Fit enough to be running upstairs and chasing after criminals. Huh? Come on. I'm just saying. It's a lot less likely. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Ema. Also, that would imply that there's a certain amount of, like, PSI you have to use, you know, to, like, not only push that much weight, but also with enough force, you know, to have him be impaled on that statue. I'm just saying, okay? There's a whole science behind it. It just doesn't make sense. I don't see Ema being that strong and just like a single, you know, offhanded, you know, whoops, I pushed someone because I got scared. Like, you have to really mean it. You gotta really mean it. They're yours, Ema. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? It's a ring pop. I swear.
Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Okay, here we go. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Alright. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled already. Okay. Got it. Oh, yeah. No, that tracks, of course. You fucking asshole. Come now, Uji! This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief God. What? Now you want to make... What? Now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
Objection! I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be that risk we were talking about earlier.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
Oh my god, what is that animation? So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. But wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone. So, what's your excuse, Raito? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Ema's sure to be made out as a murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. If you try to conceal anything, you will be the one to appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall?
And see, this is where it confused me. Because I had misunderstood the wording of show evidence and cannot show evidence. It meant specifically to show evidence of who the murderer is. I thought it just meant in general show evidence. Right? But I cannot show evidence that shows who the murderer is. Because it doesn't exist.
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
What? You lie.
Oh, and it's gonna catch him up in the lie. Because then he'll say, no, you do. You do have evidence. And how would he know that? How would he know? Unless he was the one who tampered with the crime scene. Oh. Genius! Genius! Oh! Clever. You clever boy, Phoenix. Chief Gut?
You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This ball's in my court. I can decide if I show it. And by denying that I have it in the first place, you can't admit that it exists, otherwise you would have tampered with the crime scene. And as chief of police, or at that time detective, it would have been your obligation to come forward with that evidence. If it wasn't fabricated. Genius. Oh my god, genius.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Guns?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the goal right-o. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean, you admit to it?
Okay.
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It did occur to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So, you really were manipulating her? Of course I was, you Protestant bastard! I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister. But, when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky.
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived on the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe?
But why?
I fully expected that safe to have the piece from the award, you know, the halberd. I'm still curious what happened to that. Right? I fully expected that to be one of the 3 pieces in there. And then we would check it, and there wouldn't be any blood on it, or there would be blood on it, and that's why he kept it, because, like, that's the real weapon. I don't know.
But why? For insurance! Of course.
Insurance? What is this, Allstate? Are you in good hands?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that Kirk committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? You could have just presented the evidence. You could have left it alone, and she would have been caught for the murder, which you were suggesting that she did. That doesn't make sense. Why would you hide it? Unless, yeah, obviously, I am buying that, like, so that you could have law under your thumb, but you two were working so closely together for so many years. Of course she's gonna back you up on just about anything. You two are partners. I just don't buy this whole plot. Like, whatever. Because it wouldn't have affected Lana's job if her sister, you know, accidentally killed Marshall. Her sister wouldn't have done any time or gotten the death sentence because it would have been proven that it was an accident. It's just so much about this that's still so fishy, and it doesn't add up. It's not believable. I'm sorry, but it's not. This one is not a believable one. Unless we still don't know the truth.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar of fragment? I had the most legible part of Eva's name. I didn't expect Lara to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Aha! That's what I'm thinking. Because we can't prove whether or not Marshall did it. We can't prove whether or not Marshall did actually write that name, at least at this point. So who's to say that you didn't?
Ho, ho, ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gaunt? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe!
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. It's a lot better than being portrayed as the murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, I think there's some truth behind that statement. He didn't want to be portrayed as the murderer. Because he is the murderer. That's the only reason he'd be thinking like that. Why would the finger be pointed at him? When so far all the evidence shows, all the concrete evidence shows, it's all circumstantial involving him. As far as we know, he may even tell the truth about how he went downstairs, expecting the bad guy to also go downstairs. Right? It's because he did do it. He was right there with Neil Marshall. Right behind Joe Dark.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself?
Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Well, guess I'm gonna have to get hit with a perjury charge. Because I do have that evidence. But, you know, there are worse things.
For a smooth ride, though. You should have known it. You should have shown it before it was too late.
It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine!
Now I'll show the evidence. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Because we needed to prove that he had a reason to hide it. We didn't prove what the reason was necessarily. Unless that reason really is that he just wanted it for blackmail. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows you actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Right, I am doing this right? I didn't just, like, mess up again, right? Yeah, like, this time I do actually need to show the evidence. Oh, God. Present. Take that! Oh, thank God. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh, yes! At last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy.
What?
Think about it. Righto had all this evidence, this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that.
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well, I'll tell you. Should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is...
Angel Star! No, I'm just kidding. Take that! Emma Sky! What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me? Because you would have mucked up the proceedings like I did last night.
Oh ho ho ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
Hold it! How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky!
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet!
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet.
But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too.
No. It's your career that's over.
You purposely concealed this evidence, this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges until the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat's got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned that poor little girl into a murderer.
I'm not the one who did that, it was you!
Ellipses. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh, and what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
What?
Chief Gott, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Ema Sky, wasn't it?
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gott, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
I don't know what it would be. Is it the cloth as well? Is it, I don't know. Wait a second. There was something fishy about this, and I knew it all along. But look at that vest. Look underneath the vest, where the hole is. There's blood. There's blood everywhere. There's blood on the tie, blood on the vest, blood on the undershirt behind the vest. There's blood everywhere. Why is there no blood on this? Unless it was cut off before he bled all over his vest. It's just not possible. Not unless Chief Gott took the time to clean all the blood off without removing the fingerprints. That's not possible. The fingerprints would have been the first thing to be lifted if he tried cleaning it. The blood would have stained right through it. It's leather, after all. That's it. That's it! Oh my god. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. See where this piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt. The shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked in blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it. Arrgh. Since Ema Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. And that's why her fingerprints are on there, because she did actually shove him. She remembers that correctly. But like I said, it wasn't enough to impale him on that statue. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gott, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Skye, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor sword? Then, to make it look like Emo was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood, a jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. Holy crap. Objection? Oh, you just look so sad. Objection!
That was close, Raito. You almost had me.
Gotten really would have gotten away with everything if he didn't keep us all in a safe. Yeah, but he was keeping it in the safe as insurance, as blackmail. If he just didn't try to control Lana, who was, he didn't have to do any of this. He didn't have to commit the murder. He didn't have to try and blackmail Lana for Ema being, complicit in murder. He didn't have to do any of that. He could have just used his experience, having worked side by side with Lana, to get her to do him favors as your former partner. Can you do me a favor and can you personally take on this case and other things like that? If you just didn't have to be an underhanded son of a bitch. He took things way too far. You're trying to blackmail him. He could have just, asked her nicely, like, hey, we worked together all those years. Can I have you take this case, please? But of course, I think controlling Lana was the main goal. He had no reason to kill Emil. Yeah, no, he saw it as an opportunity. And he took the opportunity because he's a fucking psycho.
Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
In this case. But if we enter it, because you're right. No, it is. It wasn't approved by the police. It wasn't gained legally and entered into the court records. And it doesn't relate to this case. It doesn't pertain to this case specifically because of that. But if we opened up a case, if we opened up a court case with you as the defendant, then it's perfectly legal. We would have an acting police chief, probably the chief of detectives. Let's be honest. And then you're fucked. Get fucked, God.
Order, order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Uji?
Earlier.
All right, here, conceal that piece of cloth.
He approved the evidence, and he's police chief. Got him! Yup, he sure did. He asked for it to be presented. He did, though. He asked for it to be presented. Which means he, as a police chief, approved of it. ACAB minus Gumshoe, I mean. Oh, for sure. Yeah, you got a point there, Pink. He did ask for it to be introduced.
All right, here, conceal that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Raito? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Ho, 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 ho. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last lash on you, son. You Protestant bastard. I'm afraid Mr. God's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
No, because it is legal. Simply because he asked for it to be presented. That's evidence law. Evidence law, baby! Get fucked!
Lost again? No, I didn't. Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived!
Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? You purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth.
I did not. I wasn't hiding it. I wasn't purposefully hiding it. No. I was saving it for the decisive moment. I admit I refused to present it at one point, but if you'll recall, I did later present it.
Aha! So the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gaunt.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
Well, what do you mean? You couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Uji, don't listen to the lies. This is nothing but a coward. You can't really believe.
Objection!
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well. Let us settle this once and for all.
It wasn't relevant to the Goodman case until we proved that Gaunt was the one who removed it from the vest in the first place. Until Gaunt was the one who suggested that it is relevant to this case. Gaunt was the one who sealed his own fate.
Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now.
Evidence law, baby. Evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
Take that!
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of the evidence law.
Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself. Inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Objection!
Sorry, but can you recall, when was that picture presented? It was after you had refused.
That was shown only a few moments ago. No!
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gaunt. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh, yes, yes. No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer! And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gaunt! The killer was you!
No. What?
Oh my god, he's losing it. Oh my god. Did he like break every bone in his hand from clapping so hard?
I knew I should have gotten rid of him.
Oh my god. Dude had a Joker moment. Yeah.
Breakdown.
Not good for a nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day that he insisted on hounding me.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman? That's how I behave in the middle of a severe bipolar episode. Oh, well. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Alright. Please, you've got to help me.
Goodman turned them down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said,
It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall.
well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he kinda say me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out.
Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know he might stumble in, so I hurried in to wipe it up. I was worried so much about the throne, I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
The bloody handprint on the Detective Gumshoe's locker.
Yeah, one without any fingerprints. Because you wear gloves all the time.
I used to be known as a crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. It broke your trunk. What's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
Well, leaving the prosecution's car aside, how could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this?
Well, she had as much to lose if I didn't. As I did. If the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker.
I felt bad for having it to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take.
So, you left the jar fragments and the glove.
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They did their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it, you and me. We're the same. We're not so different, you and I. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down. Once you try to do it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Oji. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, David Gatt. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Oji. Thanks for all the memories there. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Raito here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning.
They really put the clap sound in there and everything. I love that. It's good attention to detail.
There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gaunt betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky? You no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gaunt help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
Yeah, except for what happened to Joe Dark. Huh? Huh? You expect me to believe, like, I get it. You know, Ima pushed Neil Marshall, and he fell and bumped his head. But it is too much of a coincidence that they both fell over and bumped their heads hard enough where they both went unconscious, while simultaneously Ima Sky also went unconscious. Especially when Joe Dark was on his knees. He didn't have that much of a fall anyways. Or did he, just like Ima, pass out from fear alone? Thinking, oh god, this is it. I'm gonna get stabbed. I'm gonna get stabbed. This is what my victims felt like. And then he just passed out? It's just too convenient. It's too convenient. That never got answered. I feel like that's a loose end that never got tied up.
No, 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 no. I think Damon Gaunt is a little more clever than all that. I think Damon Gaunt also happened to get there while a panicked Joe Dark was trying to figure out, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? And then he knocked Joe Dark out. Right? I don't know. But I feel like we didn't answer that question. So I'm sorry, Uji. I'm not buying it. I'm still not buying it. There's more to this case.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
My. What high standards you have for a rookie.
Huh?
I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you might just make it to the top. Wow, she's back to being herself now. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing. Liar!
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop it. I only did my job.
Oh my god, Edgeworth is having a chopper moment.
Stop! What would make you think I'd want to hear that?
I don't want to hear your compliments. Stop it. Shut up.
Oh, it's adorable.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice.
Flustered Edgeworth is a good Edgeworth.
A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's creeped me out.
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty.
Wow! We did it, chat! We beat the game! Oh my god!
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Wow. We did it. It's still February 25th.
Where's Chief Gaunt? I want to sock him one.
No, we did it, Olivia. We did it.
At long last, it's finally over. Emma?
Ellipses. Nyan.
Well, why the long face?
Sorry, your sister.
Oh, I'm sorry your sister didn't completely get off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too.
Yeah, no, it was kind of rude that she didn't, like, say anything to you. Especially when she's been so cold to you these past 2 years. And, like, you could feel that. And you went out of your way to, like, say it, like, first day of this trial. But she's not acting like herself.
But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Oh, God!
Gumshoe! Yeah, this is just like a sitcom. Right? Kramer just busts through the door.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
You know? He's just chugging milk from a 2-gallon randomly. Or something equally random to be doing while he busts through the door. Seinfeld bass riff. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Ding 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 ding. Ba 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 ba. That's so dumb. That's it. He just got another character trait. The Seinfeld bass riff happens every time he busts into the room. Oh, great. Ellipses, nyan. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around all around while all around on duty all around, pal? Ain't it topping off you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. You already said that. You said that earlier today. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, ha ha ha. Ba-dum, ba-dum, dum, dum. It's so dumb. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love it. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Because he's escorting her, since she's technically under arrest still for a different crime now. Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Ema, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
If every case is over, Gumshoe goes to a comedy club and does a stand-up show about the case.
And what's the deal with bottomless jars? You can't put anything in them. Why even have them? You try to put flowers in there, you try to put water in there, it's just gonna leak everywhere. And I know what you're thinking, maybe it's upside down. No, there's a hole going right through it. What's the deal with bottomless jars?
That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked God to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, or for your sake, if you're feeling spicy. But now, I realize I was wrong. Ah! I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years.
Oh, that's another thing that wasn't ever answered. So if she used her red muffler, was that the word we used? Her red muffler? To conceal the broken knife, the knife with the broken tip, inside the muffler of Edgeworth's car. How was she wearing the same muffler while she was in lockup? That never got answered either. There's so many unanswered questions. Judge, we need to reconvene on this trial. Judge, there's so much I still don't know. So many unanswered questions. I refuse to believe that this case is over. Not by a long shot. Mark my words, a couple years from now, we're going to reopen this case. And there's gonna be a whole new batch of evidence that's gonna come out of this. We're gonna find what happened to the halberd. We're gonna find out what happened to the halberd. God forbid a woman has 2 scarves. Come on. 2 of the same shinobi, long red shinobi scarf? Come on. You kidding me? Who has that many long red shinobi scarves? Unless she's a ninja. Right? No. No. Where was the halberd from the King of Prosecutors trophy? Where did the second scarf come from? How did Joe Dark get knocked out? There's gonna be another follow-up case. There's gonna be a sequel to this one, I swear. There's gonna be. Somewhere in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, or not even Phoenix Wright, just the Ace Attorney, greater Ace Attorney series. Maybe Apollo Justice is gonna have to solve this case. You never know. Mark my words. Mark my words. And I don't know if I still don't buy the whole her hand was injured thing. Because she didn't know how to hold a knife? You kidding me? What? Just because you've never stabbed someone, suddenly you forgot to hold it by the handle and not by the blade? Come on. Nah, I don't buy that. I don't buy it one bit. And furthermore, how does the screwdriver really fit in? Maybe the screwdriver is the real weapon in one of these cases, huh? It's odd that a screwdriver, which can be used as a weapon, you could stab someone with a screwdriver if you forced it hard enough, huh? And it would make a flattened wound on the inside, just like a broken tipped knife would. It's too much of a coincidence that this knife was broken, the tip was broken off, and the tip of the halberd was broken off. Obviously, aesthetically, we've already talked about that, how he was designed that way, but it's too much of a coincidence. They're all flattened ended bladed weapons? Come on! It's too many questions! I'm sorry, I'm spiraling now. I'm spiraling outward, away from this. We already solved the case, and here I am, I'm spiraling. Out of control. Whew! Sorry. Just gotta breathe. Oh, this is why I drink. So chill the fuck out. Accept the win. A win is a win. A win is a win. It's okay if there's loose ends. It's okay.
I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis? I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Ima, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Ima. Ima! Wow! The sisters are reunited at last.
No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe.
Me?
Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? Yeah, because I have a feeling I don't think she's going to be able to keep her job as the chief of prosecutors. I think Edgeworth is going to get that. And she'll just be a regular prosecutor. She'll get demoted, or she'll have her license removed altogether, and she'll have to, I don't know, earn it back or something. I don't know. I don't know the rules of this world. These made-up rules of this fictional universe. Stop hiding and come over here. Edgeworth! Why does he look so angry? Where was he hiding?
I just came to say, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. He was hiding behind that plant.
Maybe. He was disguised as one of the security guards.
Huh?
We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me.
Huh?
No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief God was right.
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me. We're the same. Same. Ah. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down. Once you try to go it alone.
I do despise criminals. I planned to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth! Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Dot did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gaunt and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright.
And me, alright, pal?
And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered.
Well, unless I discovered it like I did during this trial. Right, pal?
Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own.
Proof that we worked together. We each found a piece of it.
Take that!
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
Imagine if you got a game over screen by showing the wrong evidence here. Oh my god! I'd be so pissed. I'd be calling it. I'd be like, nope, I'm considering that as a win. We won the game. I failed in the bonus part. You know what? The bonus part of the bonus episode of the first game.
That didn't happen. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh? It's time for me to go.
The evidence proves they belong together. Yeah, just like two halves of a picture. They're two halves of a Yowie picture. Yeah.
It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Oh, let me take it with you. No, take me with you. I want to help you wrap up the loose ends. How did Lana have a second scarf? Where did it come from? Huh? And what happened to the halberd? That was part of the King Prosecutor's trophy. And how did Joe Dark get knocked out? I have to know. Come on, no, take me with you. No, please. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
No. Don't leave without me. No. Oh. Edgeworth, what will you do now?
I'm gonna go solve the rest of this case.
No! Take me with you!
It's not a real win if you don't cheer Edgeworth up. You can't get a game over on this part. If you show wrong, they look at Wright like he's crazy and move on. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Well, whatever you do,
just remember. Yeah, Kayleigh has gone crazy. No! There's so many unanswered questions from this case. Come on! Take me with you. We could solve the rest of this crime together. Edgeworth. Scarves are long. It was just part of her only monthly. No, I don't believe that it's that long. Look, there's still so much of her scarf that's still attached to her. Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. Kayleigh's been crazy. I've been crazy. That doesn't answer what happened. What happened to the halberd? Huh? From the King of Prosecutors statue. Don't anybody tell me that that's going to show up in another case. It's going to end up being the murder weapon and something else totally unrelated to this. Just like how the Thinker statue kept showing up in multiple cases. Come on. Oh, no. I need it. I need this. I need it. It's going to come back. It's going to be a little Easter egg and they'll be like, oh, I recognize that. Take that. Hold it. In the end, it's up to you.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right?
She's going to rant herself to sleep tonight. I am, because I don't have the boost to knock me out.
But what I face now is my problem.
Right now I'm facing you. You're my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
Farewell. Hisashi Buridana. Phoenix Wright.
I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. Oh, that's right, you're still gonna be in lockup. That's crazy. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation. Oh my god! Foreshadowing. Scientific investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. It's only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. Also, we can't find... We still haven't figured out how she had 2 scarves all along. Who carries 2 scarves on her unless she was planning this? It's unlikely, pal. But I thought you said it was just a really long scarf and she cut it in half. I love that Ima is the main detective in Apollo Justice and Spirit of Justice. No, there's no way she's a main detective. What? Isn't she like a forensics investigator, which is different from a detective, right? It's gotta be different. I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story, pal. pal. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak around for 30 minutes. Luckily, this guard was dating a girl that we know named Angel Sky. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Or money.
Oh, well, you see, Mr. Right here is the one who will be footing the bill.
Oh, no, now it makes sense, because we know that you don't have any money.
Huh? Huh? What? You think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Not the chief detective, just the lead of the cases you do. Like Gumshoe in 1 through 3. Oh, okay. She's the new Gumshoe.
Wait, she replaced Gumshoe. Oh, I don't want her to replace Gumshoe. No one can replace Gumshoe. Gumshoe's the only one I have room in my heart for in terms of A-cab. A-cab except Gumshoe. A-cab for life, all except for Gumshoe. I don't even have room for Ema. I'm sorry. She's weird. It's those weird pins she has. They're unsettling.
Ellipses. Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you scream? Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Wow! Well, that's it. We've beaten the first Ace Attorney game. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Ema. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top corner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days as the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Ema. Wow, it's a Where Are They Now credits. I love these. These are great. You see a lot of these in like those old like 90s movies or shows. Gumshoe isn't in Apollo Justice Trilogy. No! And all minus a brief reference by that's what the right about his salary cutting. Oh, wow.
Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, I overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show. You can't shake me off that easily, pal.
Wow. Well, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned. I'll have a new schedule coming out pretty soon. I'm not sure what this weekend is going to look like for me, but most likely we should still be able to do the Saturday stream.
My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner is keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though.
Oh yeah, I want to see it.
Someday I'm gonna make detective, yes sir. Then I could be just like that Dick Gumshoe.
But stay tuned. I think this Saturday. I think I will post a schedule probably sometime Friday when I know for sure. But the plan as of right now is Saturday. I should be doing the first official stream of Spooktober Spectacular. Oh wow! Meekins is not capable of taking care of himself. Meekins really should be a ditch digger. Yeah. Which, as long as you guys still want to see it, we could do the Silent Hill games. But I have since found an even scarier game. Scary for me. Oh god! Another murder is taking place. So, and I know previously I talked about playing the 2 Silent Hill games for the PSP and playing some Poppy Playtime games. Now that we're going to be halfway done with October.
What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown? Miss Stars managed to sneak this into me. She's seen. Oh, well, cowboy, it looks like you did it.
He talks way too fast.
You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Alright.
But now that I found an even scarier game to play,
which I didn't realize they made a mobile version of.
Well, looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while.
See, they made her talk real slow.
As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The right way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around. Just make sure not to eat it backwards.
Oh, wow. So, if you guys want to, I'll still play these Silent Hill games. Otherwise, I can surprise you with a very, very cool, scary game this Saturday.
I'll never forget what you young defense lawyers said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be. Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go.
Olivia says, surprise you guys? Because if you guys really want this to be a surprise, I'll probably just put down in the schedule, I'll list it as Spooktober. Yeah, Spooktober, Spooktacular. Hopefully, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll just get to do a ton of 7.
Nothing suits the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium.
Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin.
Coming!
Oh, it's not Phoenix.
Well, see you around, Nick.
Yeah, surprise one. All right. So then I'll put that on the schedule. Whichever ones are going to be the Spooktacular Spectacular, Spooktober Spectacular. It's just going to say that. I won't tell you what the game is. You won't even know until I'm live. And at that moment, it'll say, you know, because there's like a title on the live screen that says, like, let's play this. Let's play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. That will show you exactly what I'm playing. And you'll know as soon as you see it, too.
Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your tea. Huh? What's going on?
Oh, there's a note. He might be on a sabbatical or something, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he's not in the next couple of games, is he? He then later comes back, I guess? For investigations?
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Well, come on. There's an envelope. Oh, wow.
What do you think? Should I use this as the thumbnail or the other one of them hugging? It's gonna be one of these two. Either this or the one with the two of them hugging. Well, that's it. Alright, unless there's more after the Capcom logo, because that's totally believable, honestly, I gotta be honest. The hugging one felt really natural, you know? It was a very, you know, euphoric moment. Wow. Okay. And then at this point, we would have to say new game. Justice for All. We will continue this after whatever the next mysterious game is. Now, and I also have Trials and Tribulations, which is the third one. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of you that are going to see this game that I'm playing, and you're going to say, this isn't a Halloween-themed game, it's not a scary game, it's not a spooky game, it's not a horror game. And to that I say, try playing it in my shoes, okay? This is going to be the scariest game I've ever played in my entire life, and I am terrified. Like, every time I think about it, or anytime that I test it, because I've been testing it on my other phone, so I have, like, this is my gaming phone, I have an identical model of phone, same exact one that I use for my everyday use, which is like, you know, that one's actually got my data plan on it and everything. You know, it's got all my contacts, everything like that. This one is specifically, is just for gaming. This is the one where it's got all my consoles, everything, but if I ever want to test a game out, I'll play it on my other phone so it doesn't, like, create a save file on this phone that I use for gaming, you know? So I've been testing it out on my own, just to, like, figure out what the controls are so I'm not totally in the dark when I start playing it for you guys on, hopefully, Saturday, fingers crossed. And every time I do, I can only get, like, a couple minutes in before I'm like, nope, closing the app, nope, can't do it, scared, my heart is racing, I'm shaking, I'm getting, like cold sweats. It's a scary game for someone like me, who has a very specific phobia. And, because of that, that's what makes it a horror game as far as I'm concerned. Other people are going to tell you it's basically Minecraft, okay? It's basically Minecraft. Why are you scared? Stop it. It's not Minecraft, okay, Sky? I know you're thinking, you're like, it's Minecraft, right? You're gonna play Minecraft, probably with mods. No, it's not. It's not Minecraft. You guys are gonna find out Saturday, hopefully. Unless... I don't see any reason why. I would have to work in the morning, because in the morning I have to cater to a party that's in there as soon as we open at 11. So I'm gonna be coming in earlier as it is. It's Stardew Valley. You got me! You figured it out! It's actually... It's, what is it? No! What's the modern, like, sci-fi version of, Harvest Moon? Oh, is it Innocent Life? Is that what it is? Is that what it's called? Innocent Life? That sounds right. Is Innocent Life the new Harvest Moon? It's that one. That's the one it is. I have a fear of farming. It's a pharmaphobia. Ah, you caught me. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below if you're cool with me playing Justice for All after this next game that I play. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. I already played most of this game a year ago on TikTok. But it's because of viewers like you that have inspired me to play it again, and play the next two games as well. Those I guarantee. Someday I'll spend the $20 to download the other games. Right now, I just spent $10 on the game I'm about to play in a couple days. So I'm going to hold off on buying video games for a little bit. And that's the other reason why I wanted to skip Poppy Playtime. Because originally I wanted to buy the rest of the Poppy Playtime chapters. Since they're such a short game, like, you have to buy all of them in order for it to be like a viable stream. Even for at least, it'll only be like a day or two. And same with the Silent Hill games. I'm like, those are like 6 to 8 hours. That would last less than a week for each one. This game is going to last us for the rest of October. This one game. And probably a lot longer than that, because I'm not only don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but also I'm too scared to do what it needs to be done to finish the game. So I'm just gonna want to stay in the safe area. I just kind of gave a really big hint. So I'm gonna go before I reveal any more truths about this game that I'm gonna be playing on hopefully Saturday, fingers crossed. Until next time, hey, chat, say thank you so much for joining me. Shout out to Olivia, shout out to Sky, shout out to Pig Maggot, and anybody else who's still in chat. Thank you guys so much. And for all of you loyal viewers who don't watch live, or the ones who do watch live, but you're totally silent because you know, you're just listening. Maybe it's playing in the background. That's fine, too. That's totally valid. I do that all the time. I'll have the Game Grumps or Markiplier or Jacksepticeye on in the background while I'm idly playing another game. And I thank you guys so much for letting me be that voice in the background who's screaming maniacally about there being 2 scarves and about there being the other piece to the King of Prosecutor's Trophy, and who knocked out Joe Dark? I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. I gotta stop. Nope, I'm getting riled up again. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, have a great night. Have a wonderful week. I love you all. Bye-bye. 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 Oh, Sky, I'm sorry. I got a little heated before when you were saying, like, oh, just speed through it. I got a little heated. I apologize. I'm sorry. Are you still here? Yeah, you're probably still here. I apologize. I got a little heated. Okay? It's just very passionate. And I appreciate that you're here. Okay, bye. Bye.